Hello and welcome to the Computer Guru Show. My name's Mike here to tell.
Wow. Almost. You almost had it.
Oh man! All right, let's try that again.
The do-over.
Yeah, I get my Computer Guru mulligan. All right, welcome to the Computer Guru Show. My name's Mike here to deal with your technology needs and treat you like a person. Give us a call 790-2040. That's 520-790-2040. Got the whole crew here today.
Don't worry, I'll cut your original intro out for the podcast.
Yeah, thanks.
No, I won't.
No.
I'm going to make it repeat for 10 minutes.
Again, Mike? Really? 10 minutes? All right.
We're almost there, guys.
So if you want to participate in the free hour of tech support that you get every Saturday, you can give us a call, 520-790-2040. We'll see what we can do to help you out. You get Tara, and Rob. Everybody's here.
We are everyone.
We are all
There's
the
actually
people.
no one listening because we're the only people that exist.
I'm sure there's somebody listening.
I don't know. They'll have to call in.
I guess they'll have to
Are
call
we
in for
alone?
a bit. And tomorrow is the Valentine's Day.
Yep.
Now, as a human, I don't really do the Valentine's Day thing. But as a business, Computer Guru loves small businesses. So we're gonna offer you guys some special rates. And so if you are a small business that qualifies in a couple of different ways here. One, you have to have fewer than 5 computers, and you can't have any servers. So as long as it's simple networking and fewer than 5 machines, we're going to offer you some rates that are smoking deal. It's
Mind-bogglingly good.
yeah. Basically, it takes our normal rate for businesses, which is $130 an hour, and takes it down to $75 an hour. So if you really want to save some money, you have to sign up. You have to do some type of work with us, referencing this special, the Valentine's Day special, for small businesses before the end of the month. And if you can do that, you get to lock in those rates. And it's a semi-permanent thing until I raise all the rates.
All the rates.
So if you want to be able to save some money, you want to be able to get some IT support that your business may not normally be able to afford on a regular basis. Because everybody knows that one guy, right, that comes over and fixes your computer for $60 or whatever.
You can't see the air quotes on fixes.
Yeah, that guy. And there's a lot of those out there, and I appreciate those guys. They can be out there, but sometimes you just need more support than that. And so that's who we're after. So if you are a small business or know a small business, no servers, fewer than 5 machines, they get some killer rates. They're basically paying residential rates for everything. In fact, cheaper than residential rates for on-sites. So there you are, 790-2040 if you want to be part of the show. Let's go ahead and talk to Philip. Hello, Philip. How are you?
Yeah, good morning. I have a couple old hard drives from computers I've had over the years, and it has a lot of my artwork on it. I brought it to the university and plugged it in, and a lot of the things I can't access, it says I don't have the administrative whatever, and also they're all read-only.
Right.
Even though they weren't. I didn't make them that way originally.
That's
So
correct.
I can't.
That's because you
I
don't
don't
have
get
the
around that.
administrative whatever. If you had the
Right,
administrative
because-
whatever, then they wouldn't be read-only anymore.
That would be, if I had the old computer, then it would work, but,
It's
So
not
there's
actually the
something
old
blocking
computers you need. It's just the username and password.
oh, really?
Yeah. So
Well, they're pretty old. I don't even remember what password I used.
what kind of machine was the old one?
It was a Windows Vista.
Okay, and the new one?
It's just one at the university library. I just plugged the hard drive into the USB port and accessed the files there. And when I was doing so and modifying them, it wouldn't let me save them back in. And also other things just said I didn't have access to it. So
Okay. So yeah, you need to take ownership of everything on the drive. Now here's
Okay.
the thing though. You're using a public computer, and it's not the greatest idea to be using public computers for all that. However, if that's your only option or that's what you choose to do, that's fine. But you need to go and set the security on those external drives. So you'll right click on one of those drives.
Well, I don't have a computer now, so I just have the hard drives.
Yeah, but I'm talking about when you're at the library.
Okay.
You're going to plug the drive in. You're going to right-click on that drive after it appears. And you're going to go to Properties and then go to the Security tab.
Mm-hmm.
And what you need to do is, because you're using a public computer, you need to add the Everyone group to that security list and give it full control and hit OK.
Okay.
After that, you'll be able to save to it. And it won't be
All
read-only
right.
anymore.
Well, thank you.
No problem. Otherwise, you can just bring it down to us and we'll set it to everyone for you.
Do you still have your shop on Fort Lowell?
Yes, I do. I haven't lost it.
All right.
Right
Thank
on.
you.
Thanks for the call, Philip. We also have one on the east side, Broadway and Harrison. So, in the event that you're out on that side of town, you can come by there. All right, 790-2040 if you want to be part of the show. What do you got? What do you got?
I got a bunch of stuff. What do
Come
you
on
want to
now.
talk about?
We're all looking at you, Tara. Come on. Try to keep up.
Tara, you are...
Here, there's the list.
Oh, thanks
You're
for
in
being
charge.
the quasi-producer over here.
Quasi-producer.
Quasi-producer.
We got a lot of good stuff, like the self-driving car. Google's car might be actually considered a legal driver soon.
By whom?
I don't know.
By the state of California. Which is actually kind of that is an interesting step. And it's a key step.
Yeah, I mean, the reason why this matters is, as it stands right now, the Google cars they're allowed to operate autonomously. The difference is that they have to have human interaction capability. So they still have to have the steering wheel, the gas pedals, all that good stuff. This law, if passed, would make it to where the car was considered the driver, meaning that it doesn't need to have the steering wheel anymore. That sounds scary to some people, but actually, Google was talking about how they'll be safer because the concern is that the car is going to be driving itself and the person is going to get freaked out and jerk the steering wheel or something and cause an accident.
Jerk.
Yes, that was the point of all of that, actually.
Yeah, well, I know that was a big holdup because Google had last year had released the vehicles with no steering wheels or pedals or anything, and they were planning on, actually they did have them out in Mountain View for a little while. And they then walked in a challenge, which was, wait a minute, you have to have a steering wheel.
Yeah, can't be doing that.
And pedals and stuff. You can't do that. So this will be an interesting... I'd like to see where Google's going to go with this, and I hope that they actually get the ball rolling here.
Yeah, I for one hope that it passes and they're allowed to do it that way because there's a lot of really cool applications for a car that has no steering wheel or gas pedals.
Like more room?
Or just sending your car to take your kids to school.
Wow, you're very trusting.
I trust the machines more than I trust some of the other drivers I've seen on the road. Let me just put it that
true.
way.
Very true.
Right on. Taking your kids to school. Just go get in the car. Go get in the car. Okay.
Now, if you want a car that you can actually drive, though, that's still cool. Did you hear?
Tesla 3.
Yep.
Oh, I'm so
It's
excited.
unveiling on March 31st.
Speaking of, isn't Elon Musk in
$35,000.
town?
I've heard that.
I heard
That's
that,
the
yeah.
rumor.
He does know that we talk about him on the show, right?
I hope so.
And that,
Come on by.
And he's supposed to give me a Tesla.
We love you.
Yeah, I think that was what we talked about, actually.
We had talked about
Last
that.
time me and Elon, chatted on the phone.
Well, no, last time that we had the open letter to Elon Musk, which was
Give me a Tesla.
He will
drive the crap out of the car.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. I average 60,000 miles a year on my car. So if you want a really decent test platform, right, in Arizona heat where there's lots of miles, oh yeah,
There you go.
Give me one of those things.
But I mean, a consumer level Tesla, that's awesome. $35,000. That's affordable.
Yeah, it is. That is super affordable.
Yeah.
More affordable, anyway, than
Well,
the
I
other
mean-
cars.
A lot of people went and spent the extra money to get the $35,000 Prius.
Yeah.
And think about how much fuel you'll save with that.
I don't know.
Because it
I
doesn't
haven't
have
looked
any.
into it. Oh,
Yeah, it doesn't.
It's electric.
that's true.
So, yeah, and just from what I understand, all the Teslas are pretty decent vehicles.
I mean, the Model S was the safest car ever made for quite a while there. I think it still holds that title.
Yeah, it's funny. I heard somebody, talking about the Model S. And they're like, well, now that they finally fixed that fire issue by putting that plate on the bottom. And I'm like, the thing that car hit would have set any car on fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't just the fact that it was a Tesla.
Well, it's not safe because if you hit it with a flamethrower, it catches on fire, Mike. So we can't be having people drive that.
Yeah.
It's not safe.
Yeah. Tesla's not going to work out now. It's just flamethrowers.
You never know. You never know.
You never know. All right, we got to take a quick break. So we are going to we're going to you can tell those people we're going to get to them right after the break, but we have to mention our sponsor, who, as we know, doesn't work on Teslas yet, but he will.
He might fix your car if it gets hit with a flamethrower, though.
Yes, he will fix your car if it gets hit with a flamethrower, and that is Perfection Auto Works. You should definitely check out their website. Listen to their ad that's coming up next. They are perfectionautoworks.com. Go there, get your 26-point inspection for free. Oh, yeah. Or, they got all kinds of other things. They got, like, pack rat lights and cool stuff. Check them out, perfectionautoworks.com. We'll be right back.
Computer troubles? Need some advice? Call in now. Mike Swanson will be back after these messages. The Computer Guru Show, AM 1030, KVOY, The Voice. Your technology guru, Mike Swanson, is answering all your questions one by one.
Yes, science!
So chime in with yours. The website is gurushow.com. Tune in, click in, and kick back. This is the Computer Guru Show.
Welcome back to the Computer Guru Show. My name is Mike. Here to deal with your technology needs and treat you like a person in the process. Okay, let's go ahead and get some calls in here. Let's talk to Bob. Hello, Bob. How are you?
Hey, great. I have a question regarding network attached storage, or NAS,
Right.
for backup and or for media.
All right. What's your question?
Well, I was just wondering, what brands do you think are the best? I mean, if you would rate certain things, what do you like? I mean, I know there's Western Digital, MyCloud, and there's like a MyCloud Me or whatever that is, and there's different ones. I've been looking at it, and I'm not exactly sure. I mean, I know you like Western Digital and nothing Seagate. I've heard that before.
That's correct. No Seagates.
Yeah, I know. So the thing is, I know there's a lot of different ones. You probably know more about them than I do. So I don't need tons. I need like terabyte or 2 terabytes or something like that.
Okay. So let's talk about your backup first. You want to be able to back up your computer to this?
It wouldn't hurt.
What version of Windows do you have on your computer?
7, but one of the reasons I'm going to 10 is right now I'm using Media Center, and they're getting rid of Windows Media Center. I'm going to run Silicon Dust, DVR,
Okay.
and so there's some stuff I have to do to be able to do that, and one of them is have like a network attached storage would be useful.
So is it home version or Pro?
Right now I just have a home version.
All right. So you cannot back up to a NAS device from Windows with a home version.
Okay.
So you have to have the Pro.
Okay.
Now, if you have a Pro and you just want a couple of terabytes to deal with, all right. So how much do you want to be overcharged for this?
Not very much at all.
All right. So if you go with any of the NAS boxes that you can buy, for the 2-drive arrays, which I'm not a big fan of, you're going to end up looking at like $300 to $400 for the enclosure, and then you have to add drives.
Okay.
Now, you can get them for a little bit cheaper than that, but once you start dipping well below the $200 range for the enclosure, then you're taking your data into your own hands.
Really? Okay.
So you can go with just a standard enclosure that does a built-in sort of NAS. The Western Digital Sentinel series is okay for that type of thing. Or if you have an old computer laying around that has 2 hard drive slots in it and it'll support like 1 terabyte drives, you can just build your own. You can use Unraid or some of the other free NAS type things that are out there.
Oh, cool. Okay, it's not a bad idea.
And that's probably your cheapest route, especially if you
'Cause
already own most of the
I have
hardware.
like a Pentium 4 computer laying around. Would that be enough?
Yeah, as long as it supports 1 terabyte drives.
Yeah, I think so. I'll double check it. I mean, that's a possibility, right?
Yeah, and
Okay, so
those are easy enough.
it's called Unraid.
Unraid. It's by Lime
UN,
Tech.
or, yeah, like, okay. I got it. Well, thank you very much.
All right. Thanks for the call, Bob.
Bye.
All right. Let's do line 4 next. Let's talk to Ralph. Hello, Ralph. How are you?
Hey, okay. How are you doing?
Good. What can I do for you?
Well, if you have a hard drive and you want to use it as an external drive,
Right.
and you might have had a virus on it before, as long as you erase that area where that virus was installed, you're okay. No?
How do you erase the area?
Well, you delete certain folders.
Well, yeah, then yes, sort of. Yeah,
Okay.
for the most part. So
Cool.
what kind of virus did you have?
Well, I don't know what it's called, but it had an error saying that a HAL HALDLL file was missing.
Right. How
And I was told
HAL
that-
DLL being missing is not a virus. It's a bad hard drive. So the drive's failing.
Oh, I was told a virus went in there and removed or attacked the OS, the operating
You remember
system.
earlier we were talking about that guy, that $55 an hour guy? It's that guy will tell you that. HAL DLL failure being missing is nearly always, so much always that I'm willing to say on the radio with everyone listening that it's not a virus. That is absolutely a failing drive. Every time we've seen it.
So the drive is dying. It's old.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Then I won't use it. Thank you.
Thanks for the call, Rob.
Okay, bye.
And last, we'll talk to Ingrid. Hello, Ingrid.
Hello. Speaking about viruses, I'm beginning to wonder if we don't have one in our human brains. I'm very concerned about the fact that we're going to be allowing cars, computer-controlled cars, to drive us around. How can you possibly program a computer to make an important decision when the brakes fail and you have to drive one way or the other, and you've got problems in a few different directions, and you want to crash into the least damaging situation? Can a computer be programmed not to hit a person or a dog or another car, what have you?
Now, we had talked about this a couple of months ago on the show, where we were talking about the ethics of decision-making when it came to computer-controlled cars. And it is an interesting question to pose there, and I don't know that anyone has the at least public answers for us yet that say, well, how are these cars going to behave when it becomes to making ethical decisions? However, I drive a lot, an awful lot, all day I drive, and I see people making ridiculously poor decisions all day.
That's my stance on it. I mean, the statistics bear out that we can't trust people to make those decisions as it is right now either. So we're at least in the same boat, if not much better.
Well, I trust my fellow human being much more than I would trust a machine. If you've got a choice to hit a crowd of people versus one person, what are you going to do? If it's your own child and some neighbor you hate, what are you going to do?
Well,
we're giving up our autonomy to machines. It's beginning to sound like a science fiction society.
I saw a woman yesterday on the freeway driving while eating a burrito, putting on makeup, and talking on the phone.
And
she
you should have
didn't even
reported her.
have her hands on the steering wheel.
And I report those all the time.
Yeah.
You should have called 911 and gotten the license number and
She
gotten
got
her
pulled
off the road.
over.
Good.
Right.
But that happens a lot.
I guess the point is that there is somebody that is making a terrible decision.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, personally, I don't think that it comes down to ethics that often. I think it comes down to what the human brain decides to do in a snap situation that takes less than a millisecond.
And usually it's eat a burrito or put on makeup.
I mean, the other thing is that, yes, there's definitely a question there. But the good thing is that we'll have empirical data to bear it out. Right now, the self-driving cars that have been tested get in significantly less accidents than humans do. So,
yep, even though they're interacting with humans on a daily basis. So I understand your point, Ingrid, and I asked that question a couple of months ago, where I was just like, how do we feel about computers being able or having to make decisions that are technically ethical decisions, like just as you were stating, well, similarly to what you were stating, my proposed theoretical was if you have the option to crash into a wall and take yourself out to avoid hitting a group of pedestrians. So how does that computer make that decision? And does the computer kill the occupant of the vehicle, or does it kill the person standing in the road? And so there has to be some sort of logic algorithm that's going to be built in there to make those types of decisions. And I'm very curious to see what that's going to be.
Isaac Asimov's 3 Laws of Robotics. Just saying, already got solved like decades ago.
But at the same time, though, the 3 Laws of Robotics are in conflict in that particular scenario, right? Because it's the robot is not allowed to hurt the humans. So does it hurt the human that's inside of itself?
Well, I guess we'll see. We'll have to see.
Well, maybe we better put the brakes on this. The brakes, sorry about that, before we go any further with this.
Well, I think that they need to keep moving forward, but they are doing it in small, controlled environments. As in, right now, the Google cars can only operate in one small city, in one section of that city in California right now.
Yeah, but that's a human society.
And that's true. It's true. But, their
pigs.
maximum speed limit is 25, so I don't think the car's going to be killing you. And not to mention, like I said, there have only been 5 total car accidents involving the automated cars, and every one of them has been a human driver hitting one of those cars. Over millions and millions of miles. So
well, maybe we can have some volunteers live in a tiny little community, and they can be part of the experiment, and willingly, and then we can look and see what the results are. But right now we're gambling with people.
Don't be afraid of the future, Ingrid. It's coming.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye. We'll be right back.
Your computer guru, Mike Swanson, is here to help you tame that beast of a machine. Join the chat right now at gurushow.com or call in. This is the Computer Guru Show on KVOY, The Voice. Mike Swanson, your computer guru, is just a click away. Listen and watch at gurushow.com. This is the Computer Guru Show on KVOI, The Voice.
All right, so we have to make a quick call back to the previous segment here, because there were things that we just didn't have time to get into. But I do want to say that there's a history of the way that all this works. At one point in our history, there was a person that was responsible for changing the traffic lights. A human was involved from changing those traffic lights from red to green in various directions and making sure that it was safe for you to go. There were crews of people that worked on trains to manually operate the brakes to make sure that those trains, with great skill, they managed to keep these trains from falling off the tracks while going around corners and stuff like that, and so on and so forth, up until today, where you have automation and machines that control so many aspects of your life that you don't even know it. You don't even think about it. Think about the traffic lights today. They're complicated instruments of technology. And then the cars used to be made out of steel, and they were heavy and solid, and people through fits, basically saying, well, I'm not going to drive that car that's made out of plastic and has crumple zones and is lighter and has seat belts. What if I need to get out of the car faster? It has seat belts. But if you watch the crash tests, there was a crash test video that we talked about last year where it took a 1960s car and put it against a 2000 era car of similar size, and oh yeah, the new car won.
By a lot.
Yeah, that old car opened up like a tuna can.
Right. It basically everyone died in the old car, and everyone walked away in the new one. So there's a certain amount of don't be afraid of what's coming, right? Have some skepticism for sure, but there's an incentive, really, and like Rob was saying, incentive is not even nearly strong enough, the word to use when describing the incentive that like Tesla and Google and Lexus and the people that are working on these self-driving cars have in making sure that those vehicles are safe.
Because it's only going to take one.
Right. It'll take one major incident to basically set this thing entirely back or completely bankrupt a
there goes
car
Tesla.
manufacturer. So they have they are going to make sure that it is safe. And how many people was it per year?
It's like 50,000 people a year die in car accidents.
Because of humans
Yeah.
making stupid decisions.
So, I mean, the way that I see it is, yes, we should be worried about the safety, but if we can reduce that number by even 10%, isn't it worth it? You know, you're talking thousands of people.
Right, and what we're looking at right now is if things go follow the same trend as they are right now, we can take 50,000 deaths per year due to poor decisions and reduce it to effectively zero, right? Which is how many people have died in self-driving car accidents in the history of self-driving cars. So rather you take the last 6 or 7 years and say, well, nobody's died, or 50,000 people a year die in normal vehicle accidents, it's at least worth looking into, at least to have enough curiosity to be like, okay, let's check this out.
And I mean, if it turns out that it just doesn't work and they are unsafe, then at least we'll have tested them to know that. But I think that it's a worthy pursuit because it could potentially save lives as well as make our lives just more interesting and fun.
I think that you're probably right. Let's go ahead and talk to Charlie. Hello, Charlie. How you doing?
Hey, good morning, Guru people.
Hey.
Good morning. What can we do for you?
Oh, well, I have this laptop. It's made by Asus. It's called a ROG 751. And one of the fans in the back is starting to spin out and make horrible racket.
Right.
I'm wondering what the degree of difficulty is to get to that and replace it, assuming they would sell me such a fan.
You can buy the fan pretty easily. Those fans are readily available on the internet. As far as the Republica Gamer series, they are not at all easy to get to. At least on some of them. There are a few models where you can get to them fairly easily from the back, the bottom side of it in the back. But most of them require a near complete disassembly to get those like the video cooling fans cooled or replaced.
Okay, then the second question with that would be the hard drive in there too. If I'm going to go that far, I'd probably want to maybe even consider replacing that. Do they offer higher spin rate drives for those?
Solid state,
would there
man.
be any advantage to that?
Solid state. So.
Oh, well, yeah, it has a solid state built in as its primary, but this is its data storage drive. I don't think they offer that. Maybe you could put a solid state in there.
Sure, you could. Any conventional drive can be replaced with a solid state.
Cool. That would get rid of that funny noise it makes.
And it'd also make it a whole lot faster. And you can get 1 terabyte solid state drives for a fairly reasonable price now.
All right. Excellent. So,
and if you want, we can do the fan for you. We do that all the time.
Okay. I will possibly consider that. There's one more question I have if you have a moment.
If you make it quick, sure.
Smart TVs, the new Samsung. I just bought one.
Right.
And trying out its browser is rather lackluster. Is that something that could be circumvented and put a different browser in there, or is that just like fixed?
So what are you trying to do with your TV that you're using a browser?
Unless it's one of the TVs that actually has Android built into it, there's not going to be much you can do.
Okay.
Yeah. So what are you trying to do on the computer there?
Well, it doesn't have some of the features that I'd like to have in a browser, like the ability to add like a web of trust or ad blockers or anything like that.
Yeah, just hook a computer up to your TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, those types of add-ons typically aren't going to be available on the stripped-down browser for a smart TV.
Right, and I think smart TV is not the right word. I think that's...
Yeah, they're 20 years behind a computer.
That's like schools being, look at our educated children. You know, it's disingenuous.
Wow.
All right, let's go ahead and talk to Tom. Hello, Tom. How are you?
Thanks for taking my call. Quick question on Yahoo Mail. I keep on setting spam filters on certain addresses, and once in a while they get put back into my normal inbox by themselves. Do you know why that's happening?
That's because it's not exactly the same address.
That's got to be it. No, it's not exact.
Right, it has to be exactly the same address. Now, there's even times where people will go, I'm getting an email from the exact same person, even though I've added them to my junk filter. And the truth is that the name you're seeing is the same, but the name you can't see, which is in the header information is different. So, yeah, it's a different address. It's coming from somewhere else.
Wow. Okay. Doesn't seem like that.
Who's your mail
Thank you.
provider?
CenturyLink. Oh, no, Yahoo Mail. It's on the internet.
Okay. Well, so have you considered a different mail provider maybe?
No, I have that too. This one has a lot of addresses, people's contacts already.
So you should call us up and talk to us about this because, one, we can help you move all your stuff. But secondly, there are ways to make it so you can integrate your, like let's say a Gmail account and a Yahoo account. And that way you get the best of both worlds. You get to keep your old email address and you get the spam filtering of the Google account.
It's a lot better, you think, huh?
That's way better.
Way better.
In fact, the Yahoo spam filtering is nearly non-existent by comparison.
Yeah, I think it's got bugs that are purposely put, or
I don't think
even
it's,
viruses.
I don't think it's
putting it in.
purposefully. I think this Yahoo is terrible. That's just I mean, they're trying. They're trying. They really are. But
Right. But I think I think sometimes I notice where exact same email addresses internally are getting moved back to the normal inbox.
like I'm saying, they're not exactly the same. The header information is going to be different. So if we were to go look at those, you would see that they are spoofing that email address, and it's not actually coming from that email address.
Okay. Well, these are legit like organizations that are standard organizations like IEEE emails.
Oh well, and some of them are paying for whitelisting.
Yeah.
And they can go past your spam filter. So, but in Yahoo they can. But you should look at the Gmail stuff and find ways to integrate those together because you can. And if you need help with it, we can help you do that.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. Let's see. Let's talk to Jeff. Hello, Jeff. How are you?
I'm great, Mike. Thanks for having me on your show again.
What can I do for you?
Well, I got two questions if you got time. First one, iTunes. I'm not an Apple fan at all. In fact, I hate everything Apple. However,
nice.
Years ago I got suckered in with my girls and I'm using iTunes as my music player. I got a new computer. I figured out how to get the entire bulk library in, but for the life of me, I can't figure out how to import my several playlists that I spent a lot of time setting up for, personally. Is there an easy way to import a playlist into a new iTunes computer?
No.
I knew you were going to say that.
There's some utilities out there that'll help you do it.
Okay. Do you have any in mind, or I can search for them as well?
Let's see. What's it? RedShare software doesn't exist anymore, I don't think, but they had a great one. What was the other one? Wondershare makes an iTunes utility. And the Wondershare stuff is actually pretty good. So I would take a look at them.
Excellent. Now, I don't know why Apple would do it like that. That's probably the most inconvenient thing in the world, right?
Well, that's...
They thrive on inconvenience.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of form over function. So.
Yeah. Secondly, a few weeks ago, I was attempting on a phone call with you to set up a Windows 10 backup to a Google Drive or a OneDrive. You said it's possible. I still can't figure it out, Mike. They're telling me we can't add your network location. I'm in the settings, system and security, file history, trying to add the up and running OneDrive or an up and running signed in Google Drive. It will not let me select those for backup. What am I doing wrong?
Home or Pro version of Windows?
It is Pro.
Right.
Windows 10 Pro.
And you don't do backups to those types of services anyway. The whole point is the service already has your data all the time. It's synchronizing. So you just select the data, the folders that you want to have on the OneDrive and put them in there.
Oh, okay. I was just kind of using OneDrive for just documents, I think. I mean, I don't even know what's on there, but...
Right. Those types of services are intentionally limited to just files. If you need real online backup, that's a different service altogether.
Okay. So basically go into OneDrive and select what I want it to back up. What do you call it, sync? Is that right?
Well, yeah. Basically, you're saying, hey, I want this folder to be a part of OneDrive and this folder to be a part of OneDrive. So, yeah, you have to selectively add those folders.
Okay. I will go in there and look for those. Thanks for your show, Mike.
All right. Good luck. All right. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, more of the Computer Guru Show, and we're going to talk about some websites, some presence, and Valentine's Day for small businesses. You know, basically the commercial part of this show. We'll be right back.
Whether you're dealing with hardware installation or, heaven forbid, a virus,
No!
Mike Swanson is answering all your questions one by one. So call in or chat in with yours. The website, gurushow.com. Tune in, click in, and kick back. This is the Computer Guru Show on AM 1030 KVOY The Voice. Mike Swanson, your computer guru, is just a click away. Listen and watch at gurushow.com. This is the Computer Guru Show.
Welcome back to the show. 790-2040 if you want to be part of the last segment of the show here. Let's talk to Brian. Hello, Brian. How are you?
Good afternoon, Mike. How you doing?
Good.
A couple of quick questions. I've got an Asus laptop, 1 to 2 years old. Should I consider going with a solid-state drive?
Yes.
Okay.
It could be 3 minutes old, and you should be considering, looking at the solid-state drive.
Okay, my capacity shows 910. What would that go for as far as the drive?
What?
My capacity has about 910 gigabytes.
All right, well, it depends on what size drive you want to get.
Something as big as that?
You're going to spend a little bit of money if you get 1 terabyte. But the 500 terabyte drives are, I don't know, $250 or so.
Oh, okay. Currently running Windows 8.1. Should I download 10?
Yes.
Okay, it's currently downloaded, but I haven't installed it yet.
Yeah, anybody who's in 8 or 8.1 currently should be in 10. Anybody who's in 7 should wait until next month.
Okay. You also mentioned to uninstall Avast, and I've got paid Malwarebytes. You said uninstall before the installation of
Right.
10?
Uninstall all your antivirus or protection software, anything that's NVIDIA, or before you do the install, the Windows 10 upgrade.
Okay. Would you recommend anything in lieu of Avast?
At the moment, no.
Okay. Let's see. Any issues as far as the 10?
There's always issues. There's just fewer issues with 10 than there are with 8.
Okay, because I do wireless printing and Wi-Fi, so will that be affected?
No, it shouldn't be affected.
All right.
In fact, that part of most of Windows 10 is exactly the same as what you've got in Windows 8 right now, except for it's a different shell, different interface, and slightly different drivers. So, but for the most part, everything should work.
Okay, on the desktop, the interface. When I took one of your classes, we changed the 8.0 to a 7.
Classic shell, right?
Yeah. What happens on 10?
It already has that type of a classic shell already built in.
Oh, very good. Okay.
So if you have that installed, you should uninstall that too.
Uninstall that.
Yeah.
Okay. What would I use for that? How do I do that?
Add and remove programs.
Yeah. What is it under?
It's in the control panel. You go to programs and remove a program.
You can just type it into the little search thing too in 8, I believe, and it'll pop up.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Finally, back home in New York, the family's running Windows 7. What should they do as far as 10?
Next month.
Nothing yet?
Nothing yet.
Okay.
Not doing anything until we see a service pack, and we should see one next month.
Okay. Finally, a shout-out to one of your sponsors, Perfection Auto Work. Mike is in the process of rebuilding my car. So if you want somebody to treat you like a person, I recommend you go down there and have them take a look for you.
Yeah, that's my logo.
I know. That's why I use it.
All right. Thanks for the call, man.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Mike.
All right. So we'll go ahead and they got their end of show mention over at Perfection Auto Works. They are a sponsor of the show, and we appreciate them. We'll just go ahead and go through the sponsorship stuff real quick while we get this other call queuing up here. But you can also sponsor the show. You should realize that this show is not free. They don't pay me to be here. It's quite the other way around, whereas we pay them. So if you want to help us pay the bills, you can. You can go to patreon.com/gurushow, or you can go to thegurushow.com, and there's links there. Some people support us, and some people give us more than $1 a month, which is what the default donation is $1 a month, but you can pay more, just like our other sponsor, who is
Desert Pro Commercial Cleaning LLC, the best Tucson janitorial services, and you can find them at TucsonDesertPro.com.
Right, and they clean our east side location. So if you can go out to 64 North Harrison, check them out.
It's pretty.
It's pretty. Yeah. It's clean. It's not dirty. So it's awesome.
And it's by B-Dubs.
What? By what?
B-Dubs.
What's B-Dubs?
Buffalo Wild Wings.
Ah, yes. I just knew that automatically.
I do not understand the children today.
But you guys really should support us on Patreon because there's lots of cool stuff that we want to do, but we need help to do it.
Right. Yeah. It costs money for us to do stuff.
Like me and Mike got plans for like a whole extra web show type of thing that we want to do, but
can't afford it.
Can't afford it right now.
Well, let's see if we can strong arm Ray into giving us money. Ray, you going to give us money?
Yeah. Eventually, yes, and indirectly, I already have. I paid for some service at your shop.
There you go.
All right,
we'll let it slide.
That'll work for now.
Okay, I've got a question. I've got a router, a Netgear router, 3700, and I was taking a look at it, and I don't know if there's any way of doing it, but adding a, like some sort of anti-malware onto the router to protect the whole house instead of having to do it to
not with that router.
Devices. Not with that router.
No. There are routers out there that do that. They're called endpoint routers. They are kind of expensive. So when you're looking at your routers, pick the one that costs like, I don't know, $500.
Oh, gee. Okay. Well, that idea's out there. Yeah. I've got another question.
Sure.
A friend of mine said instead of doing the malware thing in it, I should put a VPN in it, that it would be cheaper and be just as effective.
No, it's not
Is
as
he
effective.
right?
Not at all effective. Here's what you do. You want whole home protection? How many machines do you have?
5 total.
All right. You should talk to us about GPS. We have a GPS Basic for residential. We provide your antivirus and manage it for you. Give us a call at the shop.
All right. So I've got a question. I still want the VPN because I've been told that it kind of protects.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. Okay.
It doesn't.
Well, like if you're
pirating stuff, sure. But if you're not, then there's no point to it.
Okay, so that's the only reason I would get a VPN?
The only reason you get a VPN is to prevent other people from knowing who you are. It doesn't provide any layer of protection to your computer from infection.
Okay, so just because I'm on a VPN, that doesn't mean like I'm not going to get hit by all sorts of
it plays zero role in that. It will not save you.
Ah, okay.
Don't waste your money, Ray.
All right, because like he was also recommending he called it a DDWRT.
That's router. A decent router, but it doesn't provide any protection either from infections. You call me during the week, and I can explain all of this to you, okay? Because we're out of time.
All right. Okay, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Thanks for the call, Ray. This is why this show exists, so that we can teach people that no, your friend is wrong. That guy is wrong.
He charges $55 an hour.
He charges $55 an hour, and he's wrong. By the way, you should give us a call for your free website consultation. So if you have a website or you want one, you need to talk to the experts. That's us. We'll give you a free consultation. You can talk to Rob. He will absolutely help you out with any of that type of stuff.
Free advice.
Free advice. And just like this show. And we help everyone out at Computer Gurus. So give us a call, 304-8300. We'll see you next week.